Guardians of the Galaxy.
Are we talking about the first one or the second one? Because they're both amazing.
Okay, you guys clicked on the link. You know exactly what you came here to talk about.
All right, Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Now, before we get started, because this is the first ever quick and dirty review.
Yes.
Yes, this is quick. This is dirty. This is us trying to give our best impression of the plot synopsis, which means spoilers can happen. Not that we're actually going to try and spoil things.
Yeah, it's not like I'm going to be like, guess what? Leonardo DiCaprio dies.
Yeah.
But yeah, so...
Guess the movie.
That would be a good movie, actually. All right, so quick and dirty review of Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah, we went there opening night.
Actually, yeah, the 7:40 early show.
Well, it wasn't very packed. Filled in.
Most people don't realize that it's not that packed until you hit like the next day during like rush hour.
And I have to say, it did start rather quickly, which is I think is a plus. Is like if you've already seen the Guardians movie, you don't have to go through this like dumb flashback about how they all got together or anything like that.
Yeah, very true.
So
so this is not a Batman movie.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't do the backstory or anything like that. It does kind of establish a little bit more backstory about Quill.
Oh, definitely.
Right at the front about Star-Lord.
My favorite part is that most of what you saw in the previews is within the first like 10 minutes of the movie. So they're not like grabbing a whole bunch of the like the draw-in pieces that are like you're like, "Oh, that's amazing. That looks awesome." That's within the first 10 minutes and they keep giving it to you the rest of the movie.
Yeah. I will say it does progress well from there about the Guardians just being the Guardians and in general doing their thing. And it keeps you engaged through the whole thing. I wasn't at any one point or another like looking at my watch going like, is it over yet? When do we get to the good stuff?
Okay, pee break time, you know, that sort of thing.
Well, I actually will disagree with you just for a moment. Not that I wanted it to end. I was worried it was ending. That's why I checked my watch. Because I was like...
No.
Yeah,
there's still more.
Yeah, it's 2 hours and 25 minutes long. So it's not a short movie, but it doesn't feel like 2 hours and 25 minutes first.
Yeah, it's true. It does make you ignore the soreness of your ass after sitting in those movie theater seats for over 2 hours.
Well, that's because my ribs hurt more than my ass did by the end of it. I didn't stop laughing for like at least 70% of the movie.
Yep.
There are so many just absolutely hilariously out there things. And yeah, I don't want to give away too much. It's actually
there's a lot of really
hilarious.
great sight gags. The stuff you did see like mostly in the previews. If that's all you've seen, then you've seen like the first. You don't even have an idea of what's going on. I mean. We can confirm, yes, Star-Lord's father shows up.
Yes, and I mean everybody knows it's Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
So I mean,
did they Tron this one in just like with Kurt Russell?
No, not okay. Yes, a little bit.
A little bit. There's a little bit of uncanny, like young Kurt Russell in it. Yeah.
Because they showed actually, and this is what's nice. Okay, so Guardians of the Galaxy 1 was great, but the problem a lot of sequels have is that they try to give you either a breakdown or they try to recap what has happened. And they don't really do that. They actually start the whole episode, Volume 2, as if you were watching it in order anyway, and they don't spend the first 10, 15 minutes of it just going, by the way, Star-Lord had his mother die at this age. Mm-hmm. By the way, if you didn't know that, that's not my fault.
Yeah, that's the first movie, guys. Yeah. We assume if you're watching something about Guardians of the Galaxy 2, you're at least familiar with the first movie.
Yeah, so, I mean, at this point, you walk in, you start learning immediately, you're worried that you're going to see all the great things from the trailers like everybody else thinks, and they keep handing it to you. So after they go beyond what you were normally expecting to see and how they just fill in the first part of the movie with background for Kurt Russell's character, and then picking up from where the Guardians are moving forward to from the Sovereign and there on out, I mean... The Sovereign, that's a lot of gold. That's all I gotta say. It looks
Speaking
like
of
Trump's place.
See if you can spot Ben Browder in there, because he's got a very prominent role, and I've always liked seeing him get some work. Ben Browder needs to show up a little bit more.
So I got a question also in regards to this with Kurt Russell, because he was Snake Plissken. Do they make some sort of Snake Plissken remark? Because this seems like the movie that would try to make that reference.
Ooh, that's gonna. I would have to get back to you on that one because I am planning on seeing it again soon.
So you keep an eye out. Didn't catch it.
If they did, it wasn't overt. No. So they could have pointed something like that out.
And sorry.
I will say the one thing that was a little heavy as far as the gags were concerned were something happening in the foreground, just something very mundane or distracting. Just like that's what's being followed as the action happens elsewhere off screen, either really blurry in the background or just generally off screen, and all you're hearing are these chaotic sounds and stuff like that. Well, that makes a good gag. It's unfortunate, but in my mind, as pessimistic as it happens to be, I think that they kind of did something like that as a way of saving on big epic stuff. And they put in a lot of, there's still big epic stuff, like visuals going on, still big epic battles and things like that, but it feels like I'm being denied some activity there. And unfortunately, that's just my way of storytelling. It's like, it's show don't tell, but if you're not going to show me, and you're not telling me anything, then why is it even there?
Well, that's the MCU.
Yeah.
I mean, the Marvel universe does that constantly. It's just like, did you see that glass?
Yeah.
That glass. And you're like, wait, that's a tie-in with the thing from... No, okay.
Yeah.
They do that constantly. That's just how it works.
So, the other thing I will mention is, yes, Howard the Duck is in there.
Woo! Howard the Duck!
Did see some Howard the Duck, and yes, it is confirmed they are doing a Howard the Duck movie.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Huh?
What?
Yep, there's going to be another Howard the Duck.
Come on, Howard the Duck is actually one of those properties that I'm sure that Disney went, wait, we have we have Howard the Duck?
That thing was such a bad good movie.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, the old early 90s,
80s.
or it was late 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that had some definite potential in it, but that was very much we're going to stick people in costumes and watch what's happening. If Marvel moves forward with this movie, I think they're going to kind of go with the Guardians feel and with the kind of the slash realistic animation. So
it does, and I like the model that they're using for him in Guardians. Now, if they do change that up a little bit, I can understand.
Well, yeah,
they want to have it be its own identifiable style, but I like what they're using in Guardians.
So, my last piece when it comes to Guardians of the Galaxy 2, people don't know this, it is touching as all hell.
It does. It has a massive twist. It's very touching all the way up to the very end.
Yeah, and I saw one of the hardest men I know start to cry because of this movie, and it's definitely worth the ticket. I mean, yeah. Go out there, go see the movie, enjoy yourself.
See it while you can.
And
definitely.
Don't forget, breathe while you're in the movie, because you're going to be laughing so hard at some of these jokes, you're going to have to watch yourself from choking.
Amazing gags. Definitely. Gets a solid recommendation from us.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I'm probably going again at least this weekend, so.
Yeah, I might go too.
So it's even worth a second watch.
Oh, yeah. I want to find all the MCU,
all the tie-ins and stuff like that. I will say, don't plan to just get up right after the credits. I know it's a Marvel movie and people don't really plan for this, but there are
there's 4, I think.
There's 4 cutbacks or 4 gotchas.
Yeah, okay, so at least Guardians and them have gotten to the point where it's not really gotchas anymore.
It's just expected.
Yeah, it's like continuation of it. Think of a mid-story piece.
Like an epilogue?
Well, imagine if you had to get information between Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And think of it like here's a Dresden's reference, like a side jobs kind of thing. So if you slide in a sub-story just for that small area, those are really where the gotchas are coming from, for Guardians at least.
Yep. So that was a quick and dirty review on Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Out now in theaters. Of course, be prepared for high price tickets and concessions.
Oh, come on. $12 is not that big of a deal.
Yep. And we'll see you guys with another one.
Later.